Alright, what's up, Fate Family? Jarvis Guy of Warrior Jarvis YT here, and today we're going to be talking about this article from Deadline Hollywood entitled "The Spiderwick Chronicles Not Going Forward at Disney Plus as Part of Content Cost Cutting and Strategy Shift," and it's being shopped currently by Paramount TV Studios, who I assume are the film and television IP rights holders. Now, we're not really talking about this, because the Spiderwick Chronicles, was a show that anyone was particularly looking forward to. We're talking about this because Disney Plus is in the absolute gutter. They are a shitty streaming service. They're a failing business, and this is just one of the signs of their inevitable decline. But either way, moving on to the article written by Nelly Andreeva. It starts off by saying, Deadline Hollywood exclusive, amid a focus on content curation and Disney-owned IP, Disney Plus is not proceeding with the Spiderwick Chronicles, its live-action series adaptation of the popular children's fantasy books, Deadline has learned. It goes on to say that the 8-episode series from Paramount Television Studios and 20th Television has been completed, and it is currently being shot by Paramount to other potential buyers. Then it goes on to say that this decision comes as Disney, along with other media companies, have been re-evaluating their streaming strategies by cutting programming costs with a renewed focus on profitability. It is part of the major content write-off announced by Disney in May, I hear. Before we move on into the meat of this video, I do want to address this part of the paragraph right here. It says, cutting programming costs with a renewed focus on profitability. That is incredibly interesting to me because streaming is not a profitable strategy. It will never be profitable. If you're a company like Netflix and you can devote your entire business towards streaming and making content for streaming, yeah, then sure, you can make it profitable. But if you're doing anything else, if you're doing theatrical films, if you're doing linear television, then you can't make streaming profitable because you won't be devoting all of your resources into streaming, which is the only way to make it profitable. And even then, if you do that, it's going to take you, 10 years, at best to actually build enough of a subscriber base. And, if you can't even build a subscriber base, that keeps growing, then you got to build sources of revenue that will be strong enough to get you the profitability. And these streaming services can't do that. You look at something like Disney Plus. You look at the Disney earnings report that came out a week or two ago, and it's pretty clear that they've hit saturation in the domestic market. I think they're sitting at just over 200 million subscribers in the U.S. and Canada, and they can't grow. Year over year, they didn't see any change. I remember it was a 1 or 2% increase or decrease, and that's not good for long-term growth. That's really not good, and there are some things Disney can do, make things look better than they are by, cracking down on password sharing or raising the price, but that's not enough to get you to profitability. At a certain point, there are only so many subscribers you can get. And if you're just putting out the exact same type of content that you've always been putting out, like these crappy Marvel and Star Wars shows, then you aren't going to, gain more subscribers. Netflix is always going to have you beat. That's what it's all about. Disney Plus, they're striving to be the new Netflix, but they don't have robustness to actually beat them, because Netflix, they can get content from all over the world, from different types of studios, and they're not afraid to take on shows if they don't fully own them. And this cancellation of the Spiderwick Chronicles at Disney Plus, this just shows that they're just so obsessed with owning all of their content that they're literally sacrificing money just for the sake of owning everything on their crappy streaming platform. And it's crazy too, because as far as I can tell, the Spiderwick Chronicles, they did have a stake in it, but just because they didn't own the IP, they don't want to go forward with it. And this just goes to show that any show on Disney Plus that isn't a Star Wars or Marvel show, they don't want anything to do with it when it comes down to it. Just because it wasn't Marvel or Star Wars. And that's not to say that that show or any other non-Marvel or Star Wars show is particularly successful on Disney Plus. I mean, if you have shit like Secret Invasion bombing on Disney Plus, despite having a fan favorite character, that show you how badly everything's doing on the platform. But when any sort of platform is treating their content this badly, it just shows you they're desperate for money. It's one thing for a company to strive to make money, but it's another thing to just completely reject it because you're so desperate to make it in the ways that you want. It's honestly kind of shameful. And honestly, being more specific in terms of the actual Spiderwick Chronicles TV show, I do remember watching the movie a couple years ago, and it wasn't particularly bad. It was pretty intriguing. I was entertained. Kind of sad that this had to happen to a show that so many people work so hard on. Thought that it would get to be on one platform, earning the money that they deserve from the show as fast as possible. But no, just because Disney Plus has an obsession with owning everything they make, and focusing so much on the IPs that they want, because the Spiderwick Chronicles is an IP, but it's not the ones that they want because they don't fucking own it. But it's just sad to see these creatives get kind of screwed, and they can't be reimbursed as fast as they would like, because now Paramount has to search for another home for this show. There's a saying, and it goes, it's called show business and not show friends, but now it's just fucking show sociopathy, because these companies this is depraved behavior. There's no other way to say it. It's kind of fucked up. Either way, man, I think that'll do it for this editorial. I'm gonna try to do more content just bashing Disney, because they deserve all of the shit that they're receiving. Their stock price is down in the shitter. Disney, they just need to be called out on everything. This is what we're gonna do. This is kind of the point of editorials. We're here to shit on Disney, because if they can't treat their creators with respect, they can't even treat their shows with respect. They're just taking them off the platform and shit. Then I'm not gonna treat them with any respect, man. Fuck you guys. Either way, man, I've been Jarvis Guy in the Voyagers YT. Thank you all for watching. Stick around for more diecast content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.